Okay, everybody, I know it feels like we've been talking about Rivian for forever, and that's because everyone that's interested in Rivian has been waiting for forever. But today we have a very special car, and we're having to film this in a remote location deep within the Caucasus Mountains, because if my wife finds out that we have this car here, it's gonna cost me a whole lot of money. So we're gonna show it to you today, the Rivian R1S Launch Edition.
It looks incredible. We just got it into the driveway this week. I cannot believe how good looking of an SUV this is. It's like the perfect proportion.
The proportions are fantastic, and if you know anything about these, you know the secondary market is crazy for these right now, and that's kind of why. It's a full 3-row SUV, a little bit bigger than like a 4Runner, not quite a complete midsize SUV, right? But it's the first one, like a family-sized 3-row SUV, that actually is fully electric, but still looks like a real car. Tesla Model X kind of plays in that space, but not really. It's not really the same. So if you're looking for a high-end luxury SUV with 3 rows, but is fully electric, this is it. This is the only one, and people are going crazy for it.
It is. Like, this is a full-on go-anywhere SUV, too. And that's a big distinction. You mentioned that Tesla Model X. I mean, let's be honest. It's 3 rows, but it's kind of a glorified minivan.
Yeah.
And this thing, air suspension, big-time ground clearance, departure, approach angles. Man, look at this thing. Let's start up front. Like, what do you think about the front of the R1S?
All right.
Because it's definitely the most controversial part of
Definitely very, very polarizing, whether it's the R1S or the R1T, right? People either seem to love or hate the headlights and this whole front end look. Personally, I love it. I think it looks fantastic. And you know, we talk about this all the time with electric cars. Part of the appeal is that they
Speaking of electric cars.
Yes. Yeah. She loves being on camera. Okay. Electrification is just giving the engineers kind of free reign, right? It gives them the opportunity to repackage things and in a way that they don't have to, that you're kind of shoehorned into with a combustion engine. And so they do things that are different, and this is one thing they've come up with, and I happen to really like it.
Yeah, and that light bar is not just for looks. It's got a couple different functions to it. When you approach the car, it looks really cool. It will show you, it turns green when the car is done charging. And I think it actually flashes green while it's charging. So, you know, eventually I'd really like to see them do a progressive charging indicator with the front lamp. So, you know, if it's halfway lit. Maybe in a future software update, which these do get quite often. Yeah, it just looks phenomenal. All the detail up here is incredible. And one thing you probably noticed just a minute ago, these little yellow accents are showing up in the design. In a lot of different places, and I love the way they did it. They kind of, it's understated. You get some of these 3D effects in the badging. And it starts to show up in places like the brake caliper.
Big old yellow brakes, we love those. Tiny accent on the wheel, I like that.
In the middle as well. Again, the 3D element of the Rivian name on the side. Yeah, it just looks really good.
Good, another medallion there on the C-pillar. I like that.
Little Easter eggs
everywhere. We'll try to point as many of those out as we can.
Again, yellow accent. Interestingly enough, no yellow accent on the main badge on the back, but I do like that because it keeps it subtle. Shall we take a look at the trunk? Excuse me, the front.
The front. Let's look at the front. All right, here we go.
All right, so let's take a look at the front.
Fronts are something we love about electric cars. I like this platform here that folds out. And that's kind of nice for a couple reasons, just because it raises the floor, right? So if you're not needing to pack a ton of stuff in here, you don't have to reach all the way to the bottom. So they give you this. And then I really like how it folds out of the way. It's a magnet there to hold it. And then the whole thing pops out of these little slots so you can take it out. And once you've done that, everything's plastic. And so you could fill it with ice. It can become a cooler, basically, for tailgating, camping, whatever.
It's got that drain.
Yeah, I got a drain plug right here. So you can drain it when you're done with the ice, or I really like this as a storage feature if you're out camping, mud storage, right? You know, you get muddy shoes, your kids go get their stuff all dirty or whatever. All that dirty, wet, muddy stuff can go in here, and when it's time to clean it out, you just hose it out and drain it out the bottom. I think that's a really cool feature.
It's great, right? Because the truck, you can throw things in the bed, but in an SUV, you don't want that sticky stuff in the back of the car.
Yeah.
You don't want it getting your carpets wet and everything else. Hey, another Easter egg up here.
Yeah,
On the top.
I like that.
Very nice.
Let's point out also that you've got the safety button here, because you can fit a whole person in here.
You can.
And if they get stuck, they can let themselves out. So that's cool.
And there are multiple lights in here, so it's very well lit. That's a theme on this car. The amount of lighting throughout the vehicle is pretty impressive. And in fact, sometimes too bright. But you can control that. We'll show you that later. Down the side.
Yeah, let's get the obligatory shot of this right here. We have these little embossed lines on that, which is just a little touchpad to open up your charging port. Center charging port.
That's pretty wild, man. That's actually a pretty significant piece of engineering to make that work.
Yeah.
It is lit, which is cool.
Yep. Pretty slick.
Huge wheel and tire package.
22-inch wheels.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. We'll get into that maybe later with like kind of the off-road. There is a smaller wheel package, and it's the one I would have if I were ordering.
Those brake calipers are massive.
They're huge.
So
yeah.
It takes a lot of wheel to accommodate that. Even the smaller ones, I think the smallest you can do is 20s.
Even, ooh, wow.
Maybe 19s, but I think it's 20s.
Back. Let's move around to the back. We should point, we talked about trail stuff. A lot of underbody protection here. One, because it's a battery, but the side benefit is as an off-roader, you've already got a lot of protection from the factory. One thing that is really unique about this is this angle here gives you a ton of departure. Most SUVs in this class that are kind of long to accommodate that third row, you end up losing a lot of departure angle because of that. And I guess because there's no exhaust and no fuel tank, they can package it a little differently, and you get that nice angle, which, like we said, good departure. And also, I just think it looks great. Shall we pop the...
Let's open it up. At least we're going to try.
We're going to try. I think I've got it down now, or I thought I did.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe
having a little bit of problems with
there
that.
We go.
There we go.
You got to unlock it first, and then it's kind of a quick double click you have to do on the fob. Okay, so power lift gate, not that big a deal, but we love this. I have this on my LX, and I just love tailgates. Kids love to sit on it. It's a nice feature when you're camping, whatever, just to kind of pop it down, sit on stuff. I've noticed earlier that it doesn't, like on my LX, if you just kind of pop it into place, it's motorized and it will grab it and latch it, whereas this doesn't do that. And the problem you run into is because now when I go to do this, I get this warning sound.
And some flashes on the lights.
Yeah, because this is not latched, and so the lift gate won't close, so you have to pop it in, and then you can do that. You've got some great features. These pop down that second row for you.
Pop that other one.
Yeah. Sometimes you run into clearance issues there if the front seats are too far back. They won't pop them up, so that's kind of a problem. And now we've got a bigger problem. What do I do if I want to get those seats up? There's no latch or anything. You can't pop them up from the back. And I've seen videos saying that, and I thought it was kind of crazy. I'm like, no big deal. Look, pop a lanyard on there or something. But
nope.
That doesn't work, Brian.
It does not work.
Because you have to unlatch it with that corner latch that's up there, and you can't do that except from the second row.
So let's go show them what we mean.
So if I want to do that, I've got to hit this latch right here in order to get it up, and then it's not that easy. I mean, it's okay. So if I've got a kid in a car seat right here, I can't get to this latch, or at least not very easily. It's very annoying. So this whole thing, I would say, is just not very well thought out if you're going to be using that third row a lot with kids or whatever. So,
I mean, third row access is okay, because like you just flip that latch and the seat comes up and you've got a way to get in and out, and the seats are comfortable and there's a decent amount of room.
Yeah.
I mean, they've actually really made the third row pretty comfortable. You got that padded armrest.
Padded armrest with storage in it. I like that.
And USB-C. There's USB-C in there too.
And yeah, right here, there's a USB-C charging.
So that's good. It's
yeah.
just really the ergonomics of the up and down part of the third row that we've seen a lot of other manufacturers do a really good job. You should be able to have a strap right here on this third row. When that's down, to just reach in here, at least pull it back up and put it in place. I mean, the other alternative is you've got motorized third row and second row, and we get it. You know, that's another thing to break. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that. I think that's a little bit overkill if you've got a good system in place to do this manually, and we don't.
Okay. So let's slide this over. It's an electric car, man. You got to have tons of cool electric features, and you've got a 1500 watt, 110 volt plug. You know, no gas powered car is going to come anywhere close to that. I think my car does like 100 watts out of that plug. You've got a 180 watt DC charger, so that will power a lot of cool camping and overland DC devices. That's a lot of wattage out of a plug like that. And then you've got the air compressor. So
This is awesome.
This is awesome. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but that's just a standard air compressor chuck that any of your normal lines or air tools will work with. And you can see you can program. You can program in the PSI you want. It's probably not working because we don't have anything plugged into it. But yeah, it
comes with its own air chuck set right there.
Yeah, here we go. Check that out.
That's pretty cool,
dude. And all these bags and stuff, we saw it earlier with like the charger that was in the front. All these like bags that this stuff comes in is really high quality and really nice. And
a lot of detail. Look, you got your yellow stitching details on it.
This is a heavy duty airline as well, so that's not messing around. And then in these little things, you got some chucks. That's pretty cool. You got like a little clip-on chuck, not just a standard air chuck.
That's for your tires. And just look, for people who don't know, airing up and airing down your tires off-road is a really big deal.
Yeah.
Makes a huge difference in your off-road capability.
Yeah, if you saw there, I had that little pack of extra accessories for your, blowing up footballs, basketballs, whatever. It's soccer practice, your inflatable kayaks, all that, your beach stuff. And then there was even a little adapter there. So if you're into cycling, there's a little Presta adapter. If bikes often have a different chuck on there, and you've got that, so you can air up your road wheels to over 100 PSI. Yeah, really nice feature.
So I know you closed the back, but I need you to reopen it.
Okay.
Because one of the other really nice things about the Rivian is that as we fold down all this, hit those buttons over there.
We should point that out. Extremely flat.
Extremely. They even came up with this feature with the rear deck to make sure that you get a fully flat surface.
Yeah.
And when you combine with something we're going to show you later, in camp mode, you can sleep in here. Two people very comfortably.
Very.
So you don't have to have a rooftop tent. You don't have to have a trailer.
No.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, and you can air up your air mattress in here with your air compressor.
That's true. Let's see what it looks like with you in the third row.
Oh, old man third row. Oh no. Oh God. Okay.
You made it. Well done.
I made it. It's kind of, it's like most third rows in this class. It's not really going to be a good place for adults, but it's a fine place for kids.
Over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot better for me.
Yeah.
At least you've got the skylight, makes it feel a little bit more open.
Yeah, and with the second row pushed forward a little bit, I've got fine leg and knee room. Now, I don't know how comfortable it would be to, exactly.
Yeah, so this is what's left up here in the front. I'm 5'9". Let's see. Actually, so with you back there, I've still probably got another 2 inches left between my knees and the front of the seat.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Not bad. I mean, if we traded places, it probably would be okay for a road trip.
Yeah.
But, oh gosh. Now, how do we do this? Yeah.
There's a reason we put him back there.
That's right. Yeah. It is vegan leather, which I think means that the leather agreed to be in the car beforehand or something.
All right, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
But just look at all the different materials that they've thrown at that. You got yellow fabric accents, metal accents. right in the middle of the seat, you get this kind of olive green canvas stitching, which is just really cool. You got the Rivian logos, metal. The door panels look incredible.
The door panels look great. This is all that matching vegan leather, and then this wood accent is all throughout the car. I love that they've got it even in here. With your kind of purse hook thing, and don't forget the charging that's right there. That's a cool mat pocket. Again, very high-end materials in here. Not an afterthought at all. Same goes, you know, this is also an elastic kind of mat pocket.
Nice metal speaker grills for the Meridian system as well.
Metal door handles.
Floor mats.
Yeah.
These are cool. Super cool.
I'm a fan of this material just because it's got that, it looks nice and high end, but it cleans really well. Like it's not like a sticky fabric like carpet or whatever. And then it's also quiet on your feet. You know, if you've got those like hard rubber mats, they're great for keeping things clean, but they make a lot of noise on your feet, and these don't do that.
So we do have these outdoor hook style accents as well, which is a really unique color on the inside. It's not really that yellow, it's more like a gold color. Really pretty. Suede headliner throughout the whole vehicle.
Vegan suede, I'm sure.
It's amazing. It really looks nice. And then look at your grab handles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see this. You got your yellow accents.
More yellow accents under there.
Yeah, there's that lighting we talked about. There's lights all the way around the top of the vehicle, and they're very bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. One more thing I want to point out back here. This middle section does fold down independent of the two seats. So I think we can show that.
I think it's that right there. Yeah.
So, you know, if you did have your car seats in here, and you had some little ones that need to get in the third row, toddlers, or, or you know,
make them climb.
I guess, you know, your young people.
Yes.
They could do it without moving car seats.
And also super long storage, right? If you've got to fit something in here temporarily that's really long while still carrying 4 people, that's a nice feature.
And it did have the armrest cup holders. Pretty nice. Again, metal where it probably didn't have to be. And those are good size robust cup holders too. And look under there. You actually have a decent amount of storage under that middle section. You want to Again, look, this is a really nice place to be. It's beautiful the way they've laid all this out. They've gone for this horizontal look with open pore wood. It's gorgeous. And we've got, again, different like fabric, outdoor nylon strap, canvas material. We got metal accents, and it's all done very tastefully. This particular Rivian is the launch edition with its own little yellow accent. And I love how they've done the Rivian burn-in style.
Etched into the grain there.
Yeah.
Very cool. No piano black anywhere in here that I can see, except on the screen itself, right? Like, and that's just the bezel on the screens. But everything in here is very premium.
It is. If I had one complaint with the interiors right here, this is your wireless charging pad, and a lot of people have had a really hard time with the wireless charging pad.
Interesting.
The phone seems to have has to be in the exact spot. And to be honest, like this little slot right here would be great for a phone to sit in if it wasn't charging. But it's not quite big enough for the latest phones. Like that Pixel 7 that we're filming on does not want to fit in there.
That's a Galaxy S22 Ultra.
You can do it that way.
Yeah.
But it won't fit sideways.
You know,
that's okay.
Maybe you've had different experience, but this material is slicker than I would think. Normally a charging pad's a little more rubberized to keep the phone from sliding around, and that feels like it would slide a lot.
Yep, absolutely. We do have a nice center console here. Pops open. Reminds me of the old BMW X5 style. A ton of room.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see 2 more USB-C charging ports in there.
It's a little warm in here, so here's what I'm about to do. It's set to heated seats, but if I hit on the screen my climate control button, then all of a sudden I can switch over to air-conditioned seats, and we will be cooled down very quickly.
Very quick. They are icy cold.
So we might as well jump in here and talk about how you control everything in this car, because if you notice, there's no physical buttons. There's some toggles and some buttons on the steering wheel, but beyond that, everything's going through this touchscreen. And guys, I mean everything. If I go back to my climate, my vents, I have to do the Tesla, and now Rivian, drag these things around if I want to get the direction. I do not like this.
I don't either.
I don't like it at all. You know, I've got a physical control louver in the third row, but nowhere else in the car do we have that. It's all operated this way. I hate the idea of doing that. I get it. It's simpler. It does save some money. But if you think about where all they spent money on this car, is it really that big of a deal to give me something that I can move around up here and on the sides? We do have pet mode.
Ah, yes.
So if you leave the dog in the car, you want to go into buy something at the grocery store and it's too cold or too hot outside, you can turn on pet comfort, which is nice. We do have our nav system. Honestly, it's better than I expected it to be. The graphics are really good. You know, punched in an address, it finds it automatically once you start to pop something in. You know, I did a search. Like if we want to go to, let's say we want to go to the mall, type in the mall. Okay, okay, now it's not going to do it. Maybe it has to be more precise. Like I typed in Grapevine Mills, and then it's going to tell me where those options are. This is bad video because right now it's not doing it, even though yesterday it did. And that's a bummer. I don't know if it's because it's not connected. Oh, no, it did. It just took it a little longer. Again, we'll punch it in. It's thinking. So a little bit of a lag. There we go.
There we go. Grapevine Mills Food Court.
That's what we were looking for.
I'm hungry.
And you can see it's going to tell us how to get there and in a couple of different options.
The graphics are nice. Yeah, but hey, I would say if you find this a little burdensome or whatever, just use Android Auto.
Oh, no, Casey, you can't use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Those are not included on this $80,000 vehicle.
There's no Android Auto,
There's no Android Auto, and this is my plea to Rivian. Look, it doesn't matter how good your system is, you need to give us that. You need to give your users that, and I'll tell you why. Because I got into the car, started driving the car, and I instantly wanted access to my WhatsApp messaging, my regular messaging, my podcasts, which are not in Spotify, by the way, the only included podcast app on the car, really one of the only apps available on the car. And Google Maps is awesome. And my Gaia GPS app is awesome for off-road. Like, there's things that we build our lives around in our phones that we need access to in the car. And you guys are a long way, Rivian, from getting that level of integration. I know you want to control the user experience, and it's all about branding and all of that. We got to have it. Absolutely have to have it. Yeah. Let's pop into all the different modes. We don't have to spend a lot of time here, but they keep adding modes. Snow mode is new. We don't need that here. We've got our off-road. You can go between different heights. You can control your region, how soft or firm the ride quality is in the all-terrain modes. And even within all-terrain, then you've got soft sand, rock crawl, rally, drift, different features there too. So I'm not sure why. I think
maybe because you're not on.
Maybe not in drive.
Yeah, there we go. Now they're available.
There we go.
Rock crawl, all that stuff. Oh, and look,
Check
your
this
graphics
out.
change.
Passenger door open. Do you remember earlier in the video we had an issue here?
Yeah.
That passenger door
just doesn't want to.
You really gotta get it.
Bang. Slam
really
it closed.
Gotta slam that. So you may have to send some feedback to Rivian.
Yeah. Brand new car manufacturer.
Yeah.
This stuff's a lot harder than we think it is.
So snow mode does some unique things. It actually makes the accelerator a little bit more forgiving,
less responsive,
and the regen dampens down too. So it reduces the likelihood of skidding or losing traction in the snow, which is really cool. Sport mode, it does lower the vehicle. It's now lowering itself. and you can even go lower than what the standard is if you want,
Right.
and really
height.
set you up for that launch experience.
Interesting. It's still going.
Still
Wow.
going, and we can even go
Yeah.
lower, down to another 1.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah,
We've also got a tow mode.
we do.
So
Let's see what comes up when you do tow mode. No trailer detected. Smart
Yeah.
enough to know there's nothing back there. And look at this.
Trailer brake gain built in.
That's pretty
So
cool.
that is very cool.
It is. Interesting with tow mode, none of your self-driving features like dynamic cruise or lane assist work, which kind of makes sense.
It does make sense.
You need
actually.
to be paying attention if
Yeah.
you're pulling a trailer.
Yeah, if you've ever towed, you would know that's going to be annoying. You don't want that.
We'll just pop back over in all purpose. Look, you know, a lot of cool features, a lot of settings. There's a ton of things that you can control in the car. Mirrors, adjustments, car wash mode. You can open the hood. You can open your charge port. You say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, maybe somebody else is outside of the car. Maybe your passenger is the one that's charging it in a charging station and you don't want to get out. Or maybe they're coming back from inside the store and you want to open the hood, you know, so that they put it back in park.
Boom.
They can drop the groceries in there.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever. And then you can close it. So a lot of really cool capabilities here. Same thing with the lift gate. We do have Gear Guard.
Yes.
That is the video-based security system.
Yeah.
It also has a cable, at least on the truck. I don't know if the SUV does, that you loop through your items. And if somebody clipped that cable, it would start recording. Really cool. I don't think it's on the SUV. It doesn't really need to be on the SUV since we don't have a truck bed.
Yeah. But, you know.
Lighting controls. This is cool. I found this later. So originally the cabin lights would only come open with the door or on with the door, and then, or you can just say they're always off. I want them on with the door, and then you can control the level of brightness on your cabin lights, which is cool.
Yeah.
Night mode, night mode. Everything goes to black. Day mode or auto. This is really important. Some people really prefer the blacked out look on their screens. It's less distracting. The ability to override that. You can also change the brightness levels. So again, just a lot of customization here. There you go. Only 40 miles on this particular Rivian. It is brand spanking new. Camp mode, one of my favorite features. And right here, being able to level an SUV when you're at camp, if you want to sleep in the car, is crucial. So you don't want to be off camber, you don't want all the blood rushing your head at night, you want it level. And it does a pretty dang good job.
Within reason.
Within reason, right? You can't go park on the side of a mountain. I'm sorry, of course you can. But I just would say find the most level place that you can.
Yes.
And then this will do the rest.
Yeah.
Nice features of camp mode, being able to turn off all the distracting lights, being able to turn off your displays, okay, is big. You know, if you come up to the car and open a door, you don't want your headlights coming on and blinding everybody at camp. So it will actually allow you to turn those things off and go into camp mode.
That's cool.
It is cool. And, you know, you want your outlets on, you can even set a timer. Say, I want all my...
fantastic.
It's awesome. I want that outlet, that, you know, that 110 in the back and the 12 volt to be on for the next 24 hours, even though the car is off. That's cool.
That's very cool.
So they really thought of some really cool things for people that want to get out and do some adventuring. You know, there's your standard stuff, talking about energy, how much range is left, all of those things, charging schedules, charging limits, even controlling the amperage of your charging.
So that schedule is what? So you can like plug it in and then have it not charge until late at night or something? Or
yeah, so in some states, you know, I think California, for example, the rate per kilowatt hour is less at night because there's less strain on the energy grid. In Texas,
you can buy plans like that if you want.
You can buy them, but for the most part, it's kind of a standard rate, so we don't really need that. But if you're just trying to be a good citizen and only charge at night, when there is less
strain on the grid,
then you could set it up that way, and it would only schedule between you know certain hours. things like that.
That's cool. And I'm assuming you can also schedule it to kind of wake up in the morning for you, right? Like warm the cabin, cool the cabin, whatever, while it's plugged into the wall.
I would think that you can. I haven't come across that in the settings yet. But I'm sure it's here. I do want to
I bet that would actually be in a phone app rather than in this menu.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's my guess.
So we do have cameras all over the car. We have front view. You can switch between front and rear.
Yeah.
And then on the left, we have a 360 system. And when you toggle, it gives you your side view and your front view. And you can kind of go back and forth.
Great little trail cams. I don't know how well it translates on video, but like all those cameras are stitched together really well. That's a nice, seamless 360 cam.
The stitching is really good. One complaint I heard about these, and I definitely agree with this, is that I think the quality of the imaging could be improved. For the quality of the camera is there. But through software, we've been promised better resolution on the camera system. Hopefully that comes with a future update. And I'd like to see more customization in what you can look at than what I'm getting right here.
Yeah.
I got a ton of cameras, and I've seen some really cool stuff, but that's it. I don't have a whole lot here.
Yeah, normally that rear camera, you can like change the perspective on it and stuff. That would be a nice feature with this.
It would be. Hey, I just noticed we turned our outlets on, and so we've got a little indicator up here that shows right now that those are powered. So a lot of good information. The last thing I want to point out, there's a lot of stuff in settings that you can go in. You can customize keys. Don't need all of that on here.
Yeah.
Set up your Alexa. Do a lot of things within the drive system itself or the car. 24 versus 12, your metrics, all of this kind of stuff. Do your updates. The one thing I wanted to look at, though, was the owner's guide. Because there is no glove box. There is no hard manual. Everything is in here. And I like it. I love this, actually.
Yeah, is it searchable?
It is searchable. So
that's really cool. That is always a frustration with a new car, is like kind of learning a new manual, figuring out where everything is. I like this.
So if let's say the number one thing I'm always looking for in a new car is garage door opener and how you want to program that. And here we go, right? You do the search, and now I can go in here and start looking through this. Look, I got a LiftMaster, right? Ooh. Here's all the supported, and then how do you actually do the adds and deletions and all of that, renaming. That's pretty cool. So it is good. I had a question the other day on cruise control, and came in here and was able to find all the details around the adaptive cruise control system. So
hey, that's a good question, though. I should point out, like, there's no like home leak garage buttons up here that I can see, yet the car has it. So where do you do it?
Right there. So right there, no garage is added yet. Okay.
Oh,
and
cool.
it's very quick add. So you go in here and you start to go through the process of adding. And I do like it's one of the first buttons, right? Yeah. You need that.
Yep.
So it is there. Yep. No physical buttons again. Speaking of, I'm looking up here. One thing that I noticed is we don't have any high-tech rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're starting to see in some other car manufacturers.
That's a shame.
It is. I guess the counterpoint to that is, again, I can go into camera, and I now have a rear view camera.
So can you watch that while you're rolling?
I don't know how long that would stay on. Maybe I can access it. It sure better be static, but I bet it's not.
Yeah.
Man, that's really it. I mean, you got basic controls up here for your windshield wipers and your lighting, and getting in the car is as simple as getting in the driver's seat, foot on the brake, pop it down to drive, and go. There is no start button. Phone as key, key cards, all of that. So, yeah.
We're getting out of camping mode right now. I mean, maybe we can cover this while driving, but these steering wheel button controls, you'll notice no labels, and that's because each button performs multiple functions. And in my opinion, it's kind of cumbersome, but I suppose you would learn to live with it.
Yeah, I mean, the most important one is that when you're rolling, your volume for your radio is over here on the left. Yeah. There's some functions in cruise control for increasing or decreasing your speed, and your follow distance for the adaptive cruise are in the buttons with left and right buttons and scroll wheels.
Yeah.
Again,
So you have to like toggle through all those different functions, but it does pop up on the screens, right?
It does, and it kind of guides you through it. So I think, you know, as you learn this vehicle, those things will become second nature, but you're not just going to be able to jump in the car for the first time and understand all of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where physical buttons really come into play. You know, so if you're loaning this car out to friends or, you know, in-laws or your parents or, you know, even your kids, like you got to go through some of those things with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't just hand them the keys and say have fun.
Yep.
Shall we drive?
Let's go for a drive. I've driven it, so I'm going to let you drive the car. Okay. Okay, while Casey's getting ready to go for this drive, let's reset on what we've got here. We have, how heavy is this thing? 7,000 pounds?
Just
Almost.
a couple of biscuits shy of 7,000 pounds.
Over 800 horsepower, 900 and some pound-feet of torque out of a quad motor all-wheel drive setup. So there's a motor at each wheel. So this thing has a 0 to 60 claimed 3.1 seconds. That is insanity.
It's insane.
We're not going to do the 3.1 second run today. No, we're not. We're just going to go for a drive, man. We're just going around the block. No. All right, so we've run into our first conundrum, which is what?
It's time to play. How long will it take Casey to figure out how to move the steering wheel?
Yeah. And,
I know it's in one of these stupid things, but
Yeah.
it's how do I make these do the function I want them to do?
So, well, put it in park. Now, we're going to go into the vehicle settings. All right, down here. Yep, it's through the touchscreen.
Where are the settings?
3 buttons.
Settings,
Vehicle.
Actually,
I don't think this is correct.
driver.
It's not in Driver Plus. Oh, man.
Oh, this is great.
All right, we're going to try to find the steering wheel settings in the menu. So, it's not
We're
in Vehicle. Go to Drivers and Keys. We keep doing this.
Yeah.
Let's get out of that. Hang on. Go back to... Let's try up here. There
Steering
you
wheel.
go. You got to go to the personalization settings.
Now, select steering wheel, and now these fiddly buttons do the thing I wanted to do. So I can go in with the scrolly wheel, come out and go up and down. You know.
At least it gives you some nice instructions for this.
It timed out.
This convoluted
What the hell?
process. Did it really?
It timed out while I was messing with it. That's jacked up.
Now just think about having to do this every time somebody new gets into the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's great once you get it set.
Yeah.
But what a pain. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Are we finally ready
No,
to drive?
because I have to point this out again because you have the same problem with your side mirrors, which frankly, it's also almost a safety issue to me. Like I should be able to get in the car and set my mirrors where I want so I can see the other cars around me. But I have to fiddle with this. It keeps timing out. And now I move the mirrors with these buttons. The left and right controls the left and right about like you would think. I mean, okay, fine. But come on, guys. Just
It looks angry.
make it work. Make it work like a car should work.
I have to agree. That's this is the frustrating part of everything running through that screen.
Yep.
But are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. So
Okay.
now getting in drive seems pretty straightforward. This is your stock, and now we're in drive. It's telling me to hold it. Do I need to hold it?
No, you don't. That's just
Okay.
you're in drive. You're ready to go.
And yeah, here we go.
And now we're driving the Rivian
now
R1S.
We're driving. And again, same gripe I have with a lot of these cars that put everything in the screen up here on the dash. You know, I can't see all of it. There's no way to position the steering wheel that's not going to obstruct it. So, boy, that is some very aggressive regen braking. I'm going to have to get used to that.
It is in its most aggressive setting right
Yeah.
now, and it's stronger than anything I've driven before. Period.
what are you doing?
It's pretty aggressive.
And that, honestly, that's fine with me. It takes me a few minutes to adapt to it, but it is how I prefer to drive an electric car.
Just taking a look over, that's what your speedometer looks like.
Yeah.
Just a simple digital readout.
It's a short stopping distance. It's going to take me a while to get used to that. Shall I go left or right?
Go left. Do the normal route.
All right.
All right.
But I can't do 0 to 60 on that route.
We're not doing 0 to 60.
We're doing 0 to 60.
No, we're not.
0 to
All right. I haven't eaten
100.
breakfast yet. My stomach, it can't take it. Give it the beans.
Go!
Oh my. Oh my God. I mean, that was rolling from about 30 miles an hour, and that made my stomach go through the back of this seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was like quarter throttle. I barely touched it.
You did.
It's fast.
It
has many torques.
It is so fast.
But, you know, initial driving impression, it's nice. Are we in sport? What's our suspension setting?
Let's go take a look. Sorry, wrong button.
Because
we are in all-purpose.
All-purpose.
So now we're in soft ride. Now you want to go stiff, we can do that.
Ugh, that's very stiff. I'd honestly prefer to go to go soft.
Let's go back to soft.
You know,
that was pretty rough.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a rough road.
That is a rough road. My initial impression is that the ride, it's nice. It's not that refined. Like, it's comfortable, but the small bumps and everything, I feel kind of a lot of that.
Now, we're on 22s.
Yes.
And on air suspension.
Yeah.
In a very heavy 3-row vehicle.
Uh-huh.
So you're right. The ride quality it's not BMW, Mercedes magic. But it also has a tremendous amount of capability that is engineered into the car. And so, look, those are all trade-offs.
This is, like I said, a very standard mid-size SUV experience. Only it's electric.
And it's not a mid-size. It's a big SUV.
Yeah.
It does not feel like your typical. It's over 200 inches. Okay, so long. It's as big as your LX. Your Lexus LX, it's within half an inch of the same length, and you drive that all the time.
I drive it all the time, so it's as big as that, but it's almost 1,000 pounds heavier than that. And I have to say, it doesn't feel 1,000 pounds heavier. It probably feels 1,000 pounds lighter than my LX.
It really does.
Yeah.
Big, wide, heavy, but it doesn't drive that way.
No.
You know, and now look, I mean, we're talking about how that feels versus ride quality. And ride quality is different. Like, you know, how you experience seems. Okay.
Oh.
Not so bad.
No, I handled that really well.
It did.
Very stiff. Not ride stiff, but like chassis stiff.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of like chassis chatter over that dip. Oh, and again, having to relearn all my braking distances, but actually, no, that's perfect. That was perfect.
You did pretty good.
I didn't touch the brake at all.
And that regen, it sticks with you all the way to the stop, right?
Yes.
So we've got a Chevy Bolt. You saw that earlier in the video. The regen's really good. And then right as you get to the stop,
you really have to hit the brakes.
You do.
I did not do that in this car.
Yeah, it takes you all the way to a complete stop. Very, very linear. It's probably the word I'm looking for.
We'll do the F1 thing. We'll warm up the tires. Get ready. Oh, there's a car behind.
There is now a car.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
We're not trying to go fast.
No,
here,
we're just trying to
experience.
see how it corners.
Yeah. Got some nice twisties.
It got some nice twisties. The steering feel is great. The body roll in sport mode, very controlled. Especially considering, again, almost 7,000 pounds. But a little bit of suspension, like chatter, through the floor and through the steering wheel. So, again, not quite the level of refinement that we've come to expect from other luxury SUV makers.
Now, I do just want to point out, okay, those things are not really engineered for off-road, okay? They have four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive capability, yes, but that's not their primary intent. And Rivian absolutely had to deliver a vehicle that could go just about anywhere, okay? So Again, those are the trade-offs in engineering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you wanted to design one that is just smooth as silk, you know, something like an X5M package or something along those lines, you could do it. But this thing has far more capability.
It does.
Off-road.
I do have to complain already though, because we're driving along, and the vents are blowing like on my knees in a weird spot, and I can't do anything about it. Like, how could I possibly do anything about that if I'm in the car by myself driving?
Not on these twisty roads, not
No.
where you actually have to pay attention and have your
No.
hands on the wheel. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going into that screen. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down here
I'm
and
not gonna crush a cyclist
do
just
all of
because
this.
I have some air blowing on my knees that I don't like.
Nope, not going to do it.
You know. Oh, is this the way? Nope.
I don't know
I'm gonna
where
get us
you're
lost.
going.
I don't either.
I'm not going to take the people on this this crazy get lost adventure, but that's our driving experience of the Rivian R1S. All right, I said we were done, but we're not done. We're going to do the launch. We're going to do 0 to 60. So get ready. Oh! Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God. Oh my God. You did that and I wasn't expecting it.
I know.
I hate you. I hate you. That is more power than any vehicle this size should ever have. It shouldn't be legal. That's stupid.
That was stupid fast.
Stupid fast.
And we hit like 62 or something, and I believe 3.1 is, that must be an overestimate. I swear it was faster than that.
All right, we were back at the house. I'm just taking a moment after the drive to admire just how incredible this thing looks before we do the wrap up. And we're gonna check back in with Casey, who's back here in his favorite spot on the tailgate. Casey, final thoughts on this Rivian R1S that we waited so long to be able to check out, and now we have. What do you think?
Well, any car launching like this is going to have a few disappointments. The Android Auto, the complicated stuff with the settings and everything on the fans, okay, those are some nits, but overall, it's a great looking car. It's got some incredible features, especially if you're looking to get outdoors. And the acceleration is organ rearranging. It's ridiculous. And it corners and drives like it has no right to. It just doesn't make any sense how it could corner that flat in a car this heavy. So look, man, if it's on your list, get it. You're not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, and it, you know, just to let people know, this is the R1S Launch Edition. This thing sticker, if you look at the sticker, it's $78,000. And that sounds like a hell of a lot of money. It pales into comparison to what these things are actually going for on the open market. People are paying in excess of 100 grand, almost 120 grand for these things.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it probably is worth that amount of money when you start to talk about all the capability that's built into this car, on road and off. Incredible looks, incredible technology. It's an EV, 314 miles of range. It really is incredible. I think Rivian just knocked it out of the park. You know, we found some things we didn't like, but I think they pale in comparison to all the things that we absolutely do like. Wow, well done, guys. You know, I don't know, not much room for improvement. And you know, the nice thing is that Rivian does keep improving it. They keep adding things to it. The R1S, what a machine. Just an incredible experience overall.
There is nothing like it on the market, period.
They've really set the bar high. Good luck to everybody else building three-row SUVs with this kind of performance and capability. We'd love to see it, and when it comes out, hopefully we'll review it. But thanks for watching. Roma Reviews. Like, subscribe, notification bell, Awkward Wave.